Make dua and be certain in your dua. Certainty in dua. As human beings, brothers and sisters, at some point of our lives, we will be faced with trials and tests. And this is the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As He said, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised to test us. So we will face tests. We will go through many tests and trials and tribulations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً وَإِلَيْنَا تُرْجَعُونَ وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ حَتَّى نَعْلَمَ الْمُجَاهِدِينَ مِنْكُمْ وَالصَّابِرِينَ وَنَبْلُوَ أَخْبَارَكُمْ أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ فَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised to test us. So you will be tested. But subhanallah, sometimes the tests, it becomes so, overwhelmed that we feel that nothing is working. We tried everything because it's so huge on us that we become overwhelmed that, subhanallah, what is happening? I did this, it's not happening. Subhanallah, brothers and sisters, we are blessed with one thing, and that thing is called ad-du'a. Ad-du'a. But subhanallah, make dua with certainty. Be certain in your dua. If only you know who you are calling upon. Allah is waiting to respond to you. And He promised to respond to you. وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمْ ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. And your Lord said, call upon me, I will respond to you. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِي إِذَا دَعَانِ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is waiting to respond to you because He is Al-Mujibu, the responsive God, the one who penetrates through every obstacle in order to respond to your dua. So brothers and sisters, ad-dua. Ad-dua is our weapon. It's what you have that will give you the calmness, the happiness, and the hope and tranquility because you know you are calling Allah. You know who Allah is? الله الذي رفع السماوات بغير عمد ترونها. You are calling upon the one who raised the sky without any pillar that you see. You know He can solve your problem. Just look up. Look, we are in the masjid, mashallah, epic masjid. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. We have pillars holding this building. Without these pillars, the building will collapse. But subhanallah, go outside and look up. You see the sky. Have you ever seen any pillar holding the sky? الله الذي رفع السماوات بغير عمد ترونها. The one you are calling upon is the one who raised the sky without any pillar that you see. And you know He can solve your problem. So call with certainty. Look at His sign again. Just look at the bird. Glide in the atmosphere. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا إِلَى الطَّيْرِ مُسَخَّرَاتٍ فِي جَوِّ السَّمَاءِ مَا يُمْسِكُهُنَّ إِلَّا اللَّهُ. Do they not see the bird glide in the atmosphere? Sometimes, brothers, the bird will spread its wings. Sometimes it holds the wings, but it's not going to fall. مَا يُمْسِكُهُنَّ إِلَّا اللَّهُ. None is keeping that bird from falling except who? Allah. So Allah said, إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمِ يُؤْمِنُونَ. Those who believe, this is a sign for you to know how great your Lord is. So be certain when you are making dua. You are calling upon the one who gives hope after people have lost hope. الله الذي يرسل الرياح فتثير سحابا فيبسطه في السماء كيف يشاء ويجعله كسفا فترى الودق يخرج من خلاله فإذا أصاب به من يشاء من عباده إذا هم يستبشرون وإن كانوا من قبل أن ينزل عليهم من قبله لمبلسين فانظر إلى آثار رحمة الله كيف يحيي الأرض بعد موتها إن ذلك لمحيي الموتى وهو على كل شيء قدير. You are calling the one who gives hope after people have lost hope. Listen to the ayah. Allahu alladhi yursilu riyah. Allah is the one who sent the winds. فَتُثِيرُ سَحَابًا, and it raised the clouds. فَيَبْسُطُهُ فِي السَّمَاءِ كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ, and he spread it in the sky as he wills. وَيَجْعَلُهُ كِسَفًا, and he breaks it into fragments. فَتَرَى الْوَدَقَ يَخْرُجُ مِنْ خِلَالِهِ, and you see rain coming forth from the cloud. فَإِذَا أَصَابَ بِهِ مَن يَشَاءُ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ, when he makes that rain fall upon whom he wills of his slaves, إِذَا هُمْ يَسْتَبْشِرُونَ, now they are joyful, they are happy. But listen to this. My point here, وَإِن كَانُوا مِن قَبْلِ أَن يُنَزَّلَ عَلَيْهِمْ مِن قَبْلِهِ لَمُبْلِسِينَ. Even though before the coming of the rain, they were in despair. They lost hope. So Allah is telling you, فَانظُرْ, just look. فَانظُرْ, observe. إِلَى آثَارِ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ, look at the traces of Allah's mercy. كيف يحيي الأرض بعد موتها, how he revives the earth after its death. So Allah can change your sadness to happiness. He is Al-Qadir. Allah can change your sadness to happiness. Allah can make it happen. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah said in Hadith al-Qudsi, he said, أَنَا عِنْدَ ظَنِّ عَبْدِي بِي, I am for my slave what he thinks of me. So, how do you think and what do you think about Allah? What is your hope in Allah? Do you know who Allah is? If you know, then make dua with certainty. Make dua with hope, because you know He can. And whenever He decrees a matter, He says to it what? I want to hear you, brothers. What? He says what? بديع السماوات والأرض وإذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن. قالت ربي أنى يكون لي ولد ولم يمسسني بشر قال كذلك الله يخلق ما يشاء إذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن. إن مثل عيسى عند الله كمثل آدم خلقه من تراب ثم قال له كن فيكون. إنما قولنا لشيء إذا أردناه أن نقول له كن فيكون. ما كان لله أن يتخذ من ولد سبحانه إذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون. إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون. هو الذي يحيي ويميت فإذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون. This is the Lord that you are calling upon. When He decrees a matter, He says to it, be, and it is. This is Allah. Didn't you hear? وَلَقَدْ نَادَانَا نُوحٌ فَلَنِعْمَ الْمُجِيبُونَ. Indeed, Nuh alayhi salam called upon us, and we were the best to respond, because Allah is who? Al-Mujib, the responsive God, the one who answers His slaves whenever they call Him. So call with certainty. And let me give you one last example. Brothers and sisters, just you remember what happened to Musa alayhi salam, him and his companions, him and his people. In front of them, the sea. Behind them, Fir'aun. As Allah said, فَلَمَّا تَرَى الْجَمْعَانِ قَالَ أَصْحَابُ مُوسَى إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ قَالَ كَلَّا إِنَّ مَعِيَ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينَ. You have Allah. Allah is there for you. Brothers and sisters in faith, if you want your dua to be answered, have al-ikhlas. Be sincere with Allah. Know that you have no one except Allah. Know that Allah is able. He is al-qadir. He can take care of you. He can remove the pain. He can change things. He can bring happiness after sadness. Always be sincere with Allah that you believe in Him 100% that He can solve your problem. Al-ikhlas. Believing in Him. أَمَّن يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوءَ وَيَجْعَلُكُمْ خُلَفَاءَ الْأَرْضِ أَإِلَٰهٌ مَّعَ اللَّهِ. Is there any God with Allah? It's only Allah. He is the only one who removed the tribulation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala solve all our problems. Brothers and sisters in faith, at the end, I want to remind you with the poem of Imam al-Shafi'i, يا صاحب الهم إن الهم منفرج أبشر بخير فإن الفارج الله إذا بليت فثق بالله وارض به إن الذي يكشف البلوى هو الله والله ما لك غير الله من أحد فحسبك الله في كل لك الله. You have Allah. Remember, you have Allah, and Allah is waiting to receive you. So number 2, we say ikhlas. Number 2, think positive of Allah. Number 3, make sure you eat halal. Very important. Make sure you eat halal. Whatever you put in your mouth, in your stomach, make sure it's halal. But sometimes you may ask, but some people are eating haram, and Allah keep blessing them. That's not blessing. It's called a damaging blessing. It's called al-istidraj. فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به فتحنا عليهم أبواب كل شيء حتى إذا فرحوا بما أوتوا أخذناهم بغتة فإذا هم مبلسون. So, brothers and sisters, make sure what you eat is halal. And always continue the dua. Do not stop. Be steadfast in your dua and be patient. If you want your dua to be accepted. You see one thing, brothers? Allah's time is the best. And He knows best. Right? قدر الأمور من الأزل فلحكمة لم يفعل ولحكمة فعل. Allah's time is the best, and whatever He does is good. عسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وعسى أن تحبوا شيئا وهو والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. So brothers and sisters, make dua with certainty. Believe that Allah can solve our problems. Allahumma